Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm just so hungry. So I decided to have some chips. Plus, guys, it's Christmas after all. It's so good to see you, my friends. Sorry for chewing. Like literally, I didn't eat anything since morning. That is why traditionally I'm operator starving tonight. Very welcome to our stream as always. There is our cozy, tiny, warm family there in the chat. Also good to see you, my friends. Hello to beautiful Texas. Hello to Newman. Hello to Marino and James and Maurice and everyone else. It's a pleasure. So we don't really have a lot of updates. We will talk what flavor. It's literally sour cream and onion. Sweet tooth. It's sour cream and onion. Brigade, hello, hello. And if you're wondering like why are we streaming so late and generally why do we even stream tonight, blame it's not me, because it's not me. Called me in the comments. She asked whether I'm streaming tonight, and I'm like, of course I do. So that is why I decided to stream and share some updates and also talk to you, my friends. So happy Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, if you celebrate or not. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friends, in good mood and combat worthy spirit. All right. So we will. Oh my God, they look so tempting. We have Pringles in Ukraine as well. And those were always my favorites, especially the sour cream onion ones. They're just so nice. Ukraine, yes, we are now celebrating on 25th of December, like the rest of the world. I don't give a damn, seriously. If everyone is celebrating like on gazillionth of December, we will also celebrate on gazillionth of December. Why not? I don't care. The more people, the merrier, seriously. People celebrate things like Halloween, for example. In Ukraine, we don't celebrate Halloween officially. Why? It's so cool. Have fun. Trick or treat and stuff like that. Hello, Paul. Hello, APRSI and everyone else. Merry Christmas to you. Smith, all right, and DCDK, hello, hello. I was literally watching a stream of Alec. I'm not sure if you know Alec. A stream of this guy on a YouTube like 1 hour ago, and we talked about Santa Claus. And Katya, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. And I suggested that actually Satan and Santa are the same person. First of all, the names kind of match. Suspicious, right? That's kind of sus. And also, why have nobody seen Satan and Santa in the same spot at the same time? That is suspicious as hell. So who knows? That might be the thing. Jeffrey, Alec is cool. He's absolutely cool. I have no idea who he is, seriously, because it was like some kind of random stream offered to me in the related videos. Like there's 20 people watching him. I'm like, why not? So I joined, had a beautiful chat, amazing person, and amazing people watching his streams as well. So yeah. We will talk about some of the updates, some of the events that took place in Ukraine on the territory of the Terrorist Federation as well. I gotta eat this one, I'm sorry. Some ASMR session for you, my friends, as well. I hate chewing in the camera, but I just cannot do anything. All right. Let's jump straight into the latest news. So, first of all, we have a lot of Russians actually crying. Do you remember when Gerasimov and all of those Russian generals were reporting to Putin saying that Kupiansk is under Russian control and blah blah blah, and they were reporting that over and over, and they were just finishing clearing the remains of the withdrawing Ukrainian troops that got into a trap. So currently Russians are crying very very bad. There on your screens you can see a lot of different messages from Russian. Marino, yes, test works. We can see. So we can see a lot of Russian messages in different Russian monitoring groups and so-called Russian think tanks. If we can call them this way. This one is Dva Mayora. They have like 1,200,000 subscribers. They say that in Kupiansk, situation can be actually a bit worse than we anticipated. Fucking seriously? Welcome to the real life. Like, two majors. It's not like I really want to spoil your Christmas. You're not celebrating it anyways because you're fucking Russian fucks. But yeah, it kinda is worse than you anticipated. They say that according to the reports from the ground, Ukrainians were successful in Moskovka, Sobolevka, Redkovka, and they're nagging that our troops were successful because we used our reserves and we also increased the number of drones in the sky. And also they're reporting that Ukrainians are cutting the Russian units from the main forces. Yeah, if you saw a map of Kupiansk over the past week, you could notice that something is wrong, right? That Russian troops like a bit too far from their main troops at places. Yeah, they say that there were a lot of very, very beautiful, very official reports that, прекращение выплат. Yeah, that is so cool. So this one is funny as fuck, guys. So they say there were a lot of beautiful reports about taking everything in and around Kupiansk. So a lot of their units already say that they even stopped receiving financial bonuses for the active offensive operations, for participating in the active offensives in the area of Kupiansk. Basically, the Russian generals told Russian fucks that, okay, guys, you did well, you took Kupiansk, you won't be receiving bonuses anymore because you already received what you earned. Fuck off. And at the same time, Russians are surrounded and basically devastated in Kupiansk itself, and they also retreat from the area. That is so beautiful. I absolutely enjoy reading messages like that because they tell a lot. They say 122nd and 16, I think they're talking about the blocks, are lost. Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. That is, oh my God. They say, please report to our Supreme Commander Vova Huilo that we are losing Kupiansk, and basically we want him to understand that all that bullshit that is spoken, all right, on air, on the Russian television, is not helping, and Russian soldiers are dying. Guess what? Play stupid games, all right? So, I absolutely enjoy reading this moaning, all right? So we have quite a few videos. This one is actually, I think I will stop this one because it's a bit too graphic, all right? But if I remove this title for a second, you will see this amazing hole, this amazing pit, all right, on your screens. It's a video with like close-ups and everything else. You can see this amazing pit full of Russian bodies, all right? And that's like, when I look at this shit, my God, when I look at this shit, I have strong associations, with Bucha. When we came to Bucha and found the Russian mass grave of Ukrainian civilians, Ukrainian kids buried in that mass grave. And I was standing and looking at that, literally trying to suppress the horror in the depths of my heart. And what we can see on this screen, all right here, my friends, this is what I call karma fights back, all right? That is karma for the Russian motherfuckers, because you cannot commit shit and expect that you will just go away unpunished, all right? Doesn't work like that. Fuckers will always get punished. That is one of the great confirmations of that, great proofs. That one is absolutely brutal. Like, seriously, I would love to show you closer. There's actually one temporarily alive Russian dude sitting there on that pile of fucking bodies until this drone that makes a footage, until it reaches that poor Russian terrorist. And I'm looking at that, and actually I realized that when Russians were digging that mass grave in Bucha, they didn't realize that actually very, very soon, just like within several years, every fucking Russian trench will look like that. Because if you take a look at Russian positions that are usually full of the Russian scum, and especially in places like Pokrovsk, Kupiansk, basically everywhere around the front lines, you can see a very, very similar picture. This one is just very graphic and very, I would say, emotional, because it's portrayed, all right, so closely. Like that is that poor bastard before he gets deatomized. That's his friends, all right. That is how majority of the Russian trenches look like nowadays. Every fucking Russian position eventually turned into a tiny, tiny mini Bucha for all the Russian fucks and Russian scum, and I can just applaud. And again, this is a perfect confirmation that karma actually works. So, what else do we like, guys? We are talking about dark shit here, but actually, I enjoy watching. My God, I'm playing the video here. I enjoy watching Russians becoming fertilizer. Because why? Because it means that very soon Ukraine will become a leading exporter of fucking sunflower oil. We were, by the way, Ukraine was a leading country. Exporting oil massively. Sunflower oil, sunflower seeds, beetroot, tomatoes, cucumbers. We'll have a lot of pickles. And if it's considered cannibalism, I don't give a damn. So what else do we have? We have Saratovsky oil refinery, and this is as of this noon, all right. Saratov oil refinery, reckless smoking as always. You know, those Russians are smoking everywhere, just, with those cigarettes, can't take that shit out of their mouths, like, and that's what they have in the end, right? So, oh my God, how does it work? Yeah, impressive clouds of healthy air over there in Saratov. But again, if you look at that, you should always remind yourself, the only person to blame for this, you know who it is, right? That's Vova Huilo. Vova Huilo is to blame for this amazing picture that you can see on your screens, my dear friends. Let's check out what else do we have. Do they still steal oil? Unfortunately, yes, my dear friend, because Ukraine was very, very rich on different plumbing equipment and stuff like that. Ukrainian people enjoy, doing stuff in comfort, in comfortable environments. Ellie, hello. I'm not sleeping now. Like, all right, it's almost midnight here, and I'm not sleeping. Even though tomorrow I have an interview. Today I had to invite Dima from my brigade. I fucking forgot about it because he didn't remind me. I didn't remember, basically, and that is why tonight I am alone, even though he was supposed to be here. That is completely my fuck up. And also tomorrow, my friends, will be 26th. You guys will either go to job or rest after celebrating Happy Christmas. My torture is not over because my kid has a birthday tomorrow, and that is why I also have withstand tomorrow's day as well. So let's switch to the news because we have some more. Oh my god, that one looks like a freaking nuclear explosion. A dirty bomb. That is a Russian dirty bomb right there. Wait a minute, it's not Christmas. Any rain it is? I thought they had it in January. Yeah, Russians have Christmas in January. We did too for a while. Luckily, we don't anymore. This is something extremely cringy, my friends, because the Iranian embassy in Ukraine decided that they should congratulate Ukraine with Christmas, and that is why they recorded this absolutely cringy. He says, congratulating the honorable people of Ukraine with Merry Christmas, and they say that Iranian Christians are celebrating together with Christians of the whole world. You know who will be extremely happy to watch this congratulation from Iran? I think all those Ukrainians, and I think that there are probably thousands of Ukrainians already, who either lost their home to the Iranian Shahed drones, lost relatives, lost kids, lost parents. They will be fucking extremely happy to see this. Sorry for ranting, but this shit on your screens is top of the cringe and two-facedness. I just don't know what to say. That is just fucked up. That is just fucked up. Congratulations from the official embassy of Iran to the Ukrainian people. Yes, we bomb you time to time. We sell shit to Russians. We send them supplies. We send specialists who train the Russian military, all right, how to operate those Shaheds. But also Merry Christmas, just in case, you know. So, yes, it wasn't me. I blamed you because I have this, like, you know that I love you and I respect you. It was just a joke. But yeah, thank you so much for motivating me, because I was literally relaxing and looking at the watch and thinking that I should probably go outside and buy myself some coffee because I'm running out of coffee. I bought coffee. I forgot to buy sugar. That is why I'm drinking coffee literally with honey. How effed up is that? Honey with coffee. It's exotic. I agree, but it's not even as sweet as I got used to. One of the most cringiest, my god, I'm shouting so bad in the microphone. One of the most cringiest things about the recent updates about the day that passed. So first of all, we learned that Russians decided to block fucking Roblox in the Terrorist Federation. For real. Roblox, to those who don't know, if you have kids, I have kids, so I'm a bit acquainted with this stuff. So Roblox is like a game either based on related on Minecraft, I'm not sure. never played that one, but I was interrogated by several tiny operator Starskys that I should like send them money so they could buy something in that Roblox and whatever. So Russians decided to block Roblox on the Russian territory. I really no idea why. Maybe it's because they want their kids to play with fucking matryoshkas and bears. I have no idea. Or maybe they think that probably like, sending their kids to the fucking military camps and train them as future Russian invaders and terrorists is probably a better, more enjoyable thing to do, right? So it wasn't me. Like, why I absolutely love German people. It wasn't me, says. He promised to stream today in yesterday's stream. Yes, like, I expected that you forgot about this one, but I forgot that you're German. So that is why I'm here. Again, thank you so much. So Roblox. They blocked Roblox, but besides Roblox, they also decided to cancel Gmail and start using Russian mail services like mail.ru, Yandex, Schmandex, and all that stuff. According to the first deputy of the Russian Gosduma that is responsible for the informational policy, Anton Gorelkin, he recommends Russian users to basically abandon Gmail and choose the Russian alternatives. That is what he said in his Telegram channel. Again, I am not joking. It's a real shit. So he says, Russian users, I would actually recommend them to change the address not inside of the Gmail infrastructure, probably that's what he means, but to move to the Russian mail services. And he says, in the upcoming year, this might be very, very important. Why can it be very important in the upcoming year? I don't know. I feel a bit lost. Maybe. Are you eating beer fish? No. That's literally chips. That's all I have at hand right now. So maybe it's because they are trying to implement to completely isolate their internet, like in North Korea, for example, or in China, and they want to switch to the Russian Cheburashka. Cheburashka is a Russian inter/intranet. All right, so it's basically like Russian internal concentration camp for Russian users, and they cannot leave it. So we already see that Russians are throttling YouTube, Russians are throttling WhatsApp and other messages, and also they are cutting, the access to things like Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. In Russia, only one person in Russia may actually officially use things like Instagram, Twitter. Of course, it's Dmitry Medvedev. Everyone else, get out of here. And Russians were talking about switching to Cheburashka. Again, Cheburashka, it's like this big isolated internet concentration camp for all Russian citizens. They were talking about Cheburashka, or so-called Cheburnet, for many years. I think probably like a decade ago, as far as I remember. So why do they want the Russian users to switch to the Russian mail services? Well, for obvious reasons, all right, because Russian investigators and Russian fascists cannot just write inquiry to Google and ask them, like, can you show us the correspondence, the mails of that dude, because he was trashing Putin on the internet, because it doesn't work like that. So they need a global access and global control after their poor and destitute Russian population that in the end completely fucking deserved all that, if you want to know my opinion. I don't feel pity for them. I really don't. After the revolution of dignity, I really don't feel any pity for Russians that are being like that. If you don't go outside Russia, like Sanction Divan, for example, who, by the way, recently posted several videos about the different problems, with Russian FSB that he's having right now. If you're not going outside, it's your very, very own problem. Means that you deserve that. So, coffee with honey. Yes, Electrolab, that's kind of mad. But actually it's mad because in Ukrainian language, honey is mad. So it's mad, yeah. But I don't really like it because it tastes funny, I got used to literally drop like 4 spoons of sugar in here and enjoy the sweetness with like a subtle smell of coffee, yeah. Lantos, dude, I just ate, but you're making me want chips. I hate chips myself, but these are just so good, especially if you're hungry. Yeah, so mad with coffee sometimes works if you don't have anything else to sweeten up your beverage. But I really hope that you do. All right. That is the like very intellectual face of that Russian advisor. All right. Holy shit. So, huge explosion was heard in the area of Kacha. That is around 1 hour ago or something like that. Kacha is a Russian military base and temporarily occupied Ukrainian air base on the territory of Crimea. And the locals are reporting some huge explosion. We will see. We'll see what is happening there. And also our guys in Crimea, in the same place, at the airfield of Belbek, not far from Sevastopol, have hit several Russian radio location systems. So according to the reports, and you can see them like the way they look like, right, on the screen. According to the reports, Ukrainian long-range drones during the previous strike at the Belbek airfield have hit Russian RLS 96K6 Panzer S1. Ah, that's good. Also communication station R419 and also damage to the radio location system RLS 55 G60. Oh my god. Our guys also report striking a Russian... Oh, that was a good hit actually. That is a Russian BM-21 Grad multiple launch rocket system. Becoming better, and you can see that they have like, if you look at that, all right, that stuff is surrounded with those, I don't know, like metal mattresses or something. I have no idea. Hoping that that will save them from the strike, but apparently it won't. All right, so yeah, we can see that the COP cages don't work in 2025. Yeah, and Ukrainian air assault teams. Oh my god, you can see Russians running away for their lives. I don't think that the dude survived, actually. If you take a closer look, you can see the fuck running away into the bushes. That is literally like 20, 30 meters, okay, like 35, 40 meters from this Grad BM-21, and he would not survive that. 100%. Fuck, there is 40 rockets right there, and he would not survive that. What a shameful death. Anyways, my friends, are you having something good? I have slightly warm coffee to enjoy together with you. Betty, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Shipping containers are invincible. Not absolutely. That's a full load, so big boom. Yeah. 40 rockets. That's absolutely crazy. So a nurse is a honey sister, medsestra. Yes, my friend. That is the way you can translate it and see corresponding content, on slightly different websites. All right. So yeah, medsestra, honey nurse, honey sister. I never thought about that actually. That's kind of fun. So what else do we have? We have footage of General Kirill Budanov, who arrived to check Ukrainian troops at the Zaporizhia direction. We know that Zaporizhia is currently, I would say, a rather active area because, here he is giving them different awards and certificates. And basically that is what you can often see, all right? That is what you can often see at the front because, for example, when higher command visits positions and things like that, that is usually what they do. Because you're not only going there to see the situation and assess everything, but also meet guys and give out something to them so they would remember this day. Because I still remember until this day, I wasn't awarded, thank God, but I still remember till this day when Ukrainian National Guard commander arrived at my position, and I was so stunned, so I couldn't even find proper words because it was in complete secrecy. I received a call. I think I talked about that. I received a call and the guys told me the first is coming. I'm like, the first who? Like the president or something? They're like, no, you will see, but be ready. And I am a platoon sergeant, still a platoon sergeant at our positions. And I'm like, holy shit. So I know that I'm not supposed to raise alert and everything else because we are in the forward position. And I'm waiting there, and then the armored vehicle arrives, and our general, Yuri Alerov, comes towards me, and I'm like, I don't even know what to... And he's like, hi, son. And he goes further. I'm like, the fuck is that? Yeah, and then he goes and wants to see our next position. And you remember I told you about the gypsy. The gypsy. Yeah. I think he died, unfortunately. So that was one of my guys. And he always looked very, very dirty and miserably because when we were wearing, for example, like MTP or something like that, he was always wearing some kind of dirty, destroyed, weathered camo, like DTP, and he was always not shaved, like me basically today. He was not shaved, he was always dirty and black, and he was also a cook for the guys. So why he looked like that is because he would always go to the neighboring position where the army guys were, and they thought that he was one of them, basically. So he would go there and grab some supplies, some food, some ammo, things like that. And our general is going to that forward position. I'm like walking after him, and I see that everything kind of looks okay, like every day, all right, at the positions. And then I see fucking gypsy, and we are all wearing, armor and everything else. And I see fucking gypsy walking towards us, literally looking like he always what he always looks like, all right, like dirty and black and from all the smoke and stuff, and with a big beard, and he walks without any armor and smokes. And I'm like, fuck. And he keeps walking, and then he sees that something is wrong. There are some new people at the position, and then he sees the Supreme Commander of the National Guard. right there. And he takes his cigarette out, and from what I can tell, he literally puts it in his pocket. Anna walks to him, like, says him a couple of words, and, like, keeps, like, walking, checking, talking, and stuff like that. I'm like, Filia, what the hell did he tell you? He's like, he told me that apparently I lost my desire to keep living. I'm like, yeah, you surely did. Yeah, he was legendary. He was absolutely legendary. I will miss him so much. And I got to double check because I received several messages that he might have died, but I'm not sure. So basically, yeah, that is something that you can often see, which is, again, extremely dangerous. If it's Russians, for example, you can often, for example, see them, lined up with general, reading the message from the Supreme Command, giving them medal, and then Ukrainian drone fucking strikes all that shit. So basically, yeah, he visited the special force units at the Zaporizhian direction. Very interesting message is coming from Kazakhstan, because according to Media Zona, that is one of the media outlets, Kazakhstan actually launched 700 criminal cases against those who went to fight against Ukraine. So 700 criminal cases were launched against the citizens of Kazakhstan. Previously, it was reported that such cases were like not more than 10, 20 a year. And over the past year, because 700 cases were launched over the past year, 2025, 700 cases were launched. That is crazy. So according to the Media Zona and also Russian BBC service, since 2022, in Ukraine, more than 200 citizens of Kazakhstan were eliminated because basically that is what they get if they come to Ukraine. United States declassified the negotiations, the meeting. My English skills suck again, my friends. I will describe it easily. 2001, 2005, 2008, Putin and Bush talked, and already back then Putin was convincing George Bush that Ukraine should not exist, that it's an artificial country, that basically Ukrainian nation doesn't exist, everything is fake, everything is wrong. And United States present the declassified conversations, all right, between President George Bush and Russian dictator Vova Huilo. That is interesting. Basically, in some of his messages, he says that Ukraine is not a nation that was formed naturally. It's an artificial country that was created during the Soviet times, which, by the way, something that he was often saying since like around 2013, all right? Because impressively, despite what he was saying to George Bush in 2001 and 2005, impressively, until the very annexation of Crimea, he would say that Ukraine is a sovereign country. We respect Ukraine so much. And one of the funniest facts is that 2001, he was saying that Ukraine doesn't exist to George Bush. And 2 years later, he was signing an agreement with Ukrainian President Kuchma, recognizing Ukrainian borders and Ukrainian territories, including Crimea and Donbass. What does it mean? It means that already back then, in 2003, motherfucker knew that he will invade Ukraine. I don't believe in conspiracies, but I know Russians well. So I think that's the case. If you think that any agreement with Vova Khuilo or basically any other Russian leadership is worth a paper it's written in, I have bad news for you, my friends. Russians will always violate any agreement. Already 2003, the fucker was signing it, and he thought about invading Ukraine. So this one is interesting. Yes, I'm reading. Putin saying is that after the World War II, Ukraine received territories from Poland, Romania, and Hungary. That is almost complete West Ukraine. In 1920s and 30s, Ukraine received territories from Russia. That is eastern part of Ukraine. In 56, Crimea was also attached. And that is like the bullshit that Putin is telling to the American President George Bush. 2001, 2005. To be honest, if we scroll back just a bit, all right, for example, like year 500th, all right, so there was already Kyiv. It was not a megapolis, but already back then in the Dark Ages, it was a big city with more than 10 churches of a different type, made of stone. It had a wall around it. It was a center of international trade back in those days. In the Russian swamps that were uninhabited in year 500, the Russian bayers that were not even Russian yet were fucking wiping their asses with pine cones. And it was like that for approximately like 300 years, 500 years after that. So that is the reality. Unfortunately, Putin's knowledge of history doesn't expand that much. But I can tell. So we also have reports coming from Temryuk and also Orenburg. Again, beautiful, healthy plums of Russian gas and stuff. Blame Putin, all right. In Temryuk and Orenburg, there were strikes. First of all, in Temryuk, in the port, the oil reservoirs were destroyed and the gas factory in Orenburg. That was an operation conducted by the Center for Special Operations Alpha, Security Service of Ukraine, the legendary SBU. Those are the dudes. Those guys know what they do. From the authors of a magnificent operation called Spiderweb. So what else do we have? Oh my god, that's like all the updates. That's all the updates for today. But I'm not finishing yet because I still have my chips. I still have coffee, and we still have a lot to talk about. Kyiv was founded by Vikings. There is, like, we can call them Vikings, but we can generally call Vikings everyone from Scandinavia, right? Coming from Scandinavia in those years. So probably, yeah. We definitely had two Viking kings, two Viking lords ruling Kyiv, Askold and Dyr. They came from Scandinavia and they were actually ruling Kyiv. And they were Vikings, they were naturally Vikings. But Kiev was founded by Kish, Shek, Horiv, and their sister Libid in year approximately 500. All right, centuries before the tiny village of Kuchkova was founded in the northern swamps and later turned into Moskva. That's reality, all right? Russia and Moscovia, Moskva itself, it didn't exist for centuries. For centuries after Kiev was a big developing city with like all sorts of people coming from eastern countries, bringing all sorts of loot, all sorts of goods, all right? Kiev full of people doing different crafts, smith, carpentry, and stuff like that. Kiev was founded long before Vikings. I would argue with that, but that's reality. Russia didn't exist. There was no Moscovian Rus. There was no... Yes, Swedish Vikings. Yes, my friend, Swedish Vikings. There was no Novgorod Rus. There was no Moscovian Rus. Didn't exist. There was only Kiev Rus, right? And that is the name, by the way, that Russians snatched from us. Because Russia didn't exist until middle 18th century, by the way. It didn't exist until the Russians actually decided to rename the Moscovian Tsardom into the Russian Empire. Ukraine has Swedish village. One thing that Ukraine doesn't have still is surströmming. And by the way, I tried to find it in the Ukrainian stores and I failed, which is probably good. But I don't know, maybe things changed. Maybe now you can find them in the Ukrainian supermarkets as well. Is it strange that I kind of crave surströmming now? Oh my God, Swedes, what did you do with me? Brandon, I blame Brandon for that. Because sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I have this like tiny thought in the back of my head that says, dude, you should try. Like, it wasn't that bad, right? And I'm like, no, go to sleep. So I think I maybe should try it one more time. But this time properly. This time not like, drinking it from a glass. But I will open it under the water. I will prepare a lot of potato, fresh boiled potato, all right? Not fried, boiled, that's proper thing. And Swedes, please confirm if I'm right, because that's the way you should eat it. You should eat it with something, all right? With bread, with potato, with stuff. Not just like, and then puke. It requires a cultural approach, all right? It requires some special ritual. I will try. I will go and check out the stores if they have it. Here in Germany, I bet they do. And then I will probably buy myself some. My friend, I know it's not because I decided to grow a beard. It's literally because I'm freaking lazy. It's every single day I wake up and I have to monitor a lot of things, and I'm going, okay, I will shave tomorrow. And this tomorrow stretched for like the whole month. Plus, I'm alone temporarily, all right? My lady is away for a while, and basically I don't care much. So until I start stumbling on my beard while walking, I can tolerate it. Speaking of surströmming, I know that Danish guys and also Norwegian guys also have something like that. please let me know. And also I want to know if it's better or worse. Because I'm not a pervert. It's not like I'm a fan of surströmming or something like that. I prefer fish that smells like fish, not like sewer. Yeah, but looking at surströmming and like remembering the way it tasted, I think that, yeah, I am a bit of a pervert then. Цукри, тату, варення з картоплі, jam, potato jam? Potato jam, seriously? Oh my god. One thing that, by the way, tastes surprisingly cool, I told you about that, is the Kartoffelpuffer mit Apfelsauce, all right? So it's like those potato pancakes with apple sauce that taste fantastic. I'll probably visit the market, the Christmas market before it's finished. Oh shit, it will be finished tomorrow. It will be finished tomorrow. My god, I missed all the fun. But anyways, I have Kartoffelpuffer in my fridge, so I can make it. I can cook it for myself anytime. And I also have applesauce. Yes, so let me see. Strawwitwer, that's how you call men that are left behind by their ladies. I am not left behind, I'm left unattended, alright, temporarily. Surströmming is banned by almost every airline. I don't blame airlines at all. The video of you guys drunk opening, it was hilarious. Oh yeah, Simon, I still have it. I think I still have some of the footage, but it's like just too heavy metal to watch. I believe a lot of people, like maybe eventually with time I will post some of the videos, because there were a lot of different events that, you know, guys were recording, including Brandon and including Andrew Mercado and everyone else. And I was also recording that, but I didn't post it anywhere. I still keep it. So maybe like eventually I will post like a bunch of bloopers, you know. That'd be fun. Pervert is fine as long as you don't cross into oh my god. Don't even mention them, my dear friend. Fuck that shit. They are not just perverts, they're fucking scum. All your non-Americans here, what do we eat that you think is gross? My friends, I also want to know. What is gross that we can eat? Oh, Kartoffel, making some right now, mate. I will make it exactly after the stream. I still have a bunch of burgers that I really need to cook before the end of this year. And I will make Kartoffelpuffer mit Apfelmus. Only shave the neck. It's actually so cold here. I would shave the neck, but it's freaking cold. It's when I put the blanket over myself and it doesn't reach either my toes or my chin. That is when my neck saves me, all right, my fluffy neck. So Icelandics have air-cured shark's meat. Yeah, we talked about that one, and that's absolutely crazy, by the way. They have specific recipe for specific sort of fish, which is, by the way, some of the oldest creatures on Earth. Some of the species are being caught with like harpoons made out of bone, still sticking in them. That's crazy. Some of those sharks, and we're talking about the Greenland sharks, some of those sharks reach maturity so they can mate after something like 100 plus years. That is insane. And then they live like half a millennia more, you know. That is crazy. Time to open Starsky's archive. I will, I promise. There's a lot of things. From like Hostomel, for example. Not a lot from Hostomel, unfortunately, but some of the things that, yeah, people haven't seen. How's the orc guarding your garage? If rats didn't eat him, I think that he will be fine. Yeah, rats are savage. Remember, I told you yesterday about my battery, all right, in the car. So I opened the hood, and first thing I see in the car is like a bunch of stuff on my battery, and my battery is wrapped in, you know, like this soft fabric, and like the fuck is that? And then I see like also, you know, those tiny pieces of either rat shed or mouse shed, I think rats. So some bitch is literally sleeping on it when I'm not around. That is crazy. I remember I was changing oil, and it was back in Ukraine. I was changing oil and I visited the guys, and the guys are like, all right, let's open your car. And they opened my car. I literally didn't look under the hood for like 2 days max. They opened the hood, and first thing I see is a fucking nest on my battery. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they start laughing. They go like, dude, why don't you open hood? You should do that more often, you know? And I start laughing. I feel so embarrassed because there's literally a freaking nest, you know, like with eagles or something. I'm like, what the hell? They go like, that's rats. You have rats or mice, and they make nests on your car battery. It was like years ago back in Ukraine. And it was so funny, you know. I was really embarrassed because I look at that and I thought, holy shit, like those guys might think that I'm some sort of, I don't know, you know, with the poles growing out of an improper place, you know, that I don't look after the car or something like that. So yeah, that was kind of funny. And here it's the same stuff, because I asked those German/Turkish/Armenian guys to help me to charge my car at the gas station. And I open the hood and I see that stuff. So it was impressive. Please let me know if there is something that I can do, you know, to deflect rats from my car, because I don't know. I had different, let's say, rat traps. I had that very humane. All right, I had a very humane rat trap that shocks basically, and it works like this, you know, very fast. So they don't suffer. But it's freaking huge. I cannot put it anywhere under the car hood. I don't know what to do. Maybe leave it somewhere next to the car. No idea. Peppermint. Rodents hate peppermint. For real. I gotta try. We had entire mouse family of 6 babies and 1 mother mouse in the glove box. Holy shit. And by the way, now I'm kind of, you know, I feel it's kind of sketchy to look into my glove box now. Because who knows what I might find there. Maybe I should actually go and check it out. Merry Christmas to the beautiful Denmark, my friends. Don't leave food or wrappers in the boot. I don't have anything. Like, shit, I do. I really do. I have a lot of, like Tic Tac. I have like one tiny space. Like in the Jeep, you have like this tiny, tiny space down there in the cockpit. And I usually used to just drop a bunch of Tic Tacs there. So that might be the reason. But then again, why they sleep on the battery? Probably is because they are attracted by the heat, by the warmth. Hey, it's just me and my flu at home this Christmas Day. Thanks for joining in. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, my friends. And yes, rodents and pests don't love peppermint. I gotta keep it in mind because I enjoy peppermint. I love it so much, and I have a lot of it actually. So don't you think it's Martin in your car? I had Martin make a nest under my car once. Really? No. I don't think that it's Martin. Yeah, but speaking of Martins, I remember we were in Italy last year with my lady, and it was an amazing week in Italy. Seriously, I met like family I stayed at when I was 11 years old. So many memories and everything else. I received a military patch from Italian military and stuff like that. And we had amazing time, amazing food. Positano, the restaurant on the beach, on the shore. And I remember early in the morning we wake up and those tiny Italian streets, very like atmospheric. We wake up and we walk down the street, and one thing I immediately notice is like this big, I'm not sure if it was a martin or a seagull, but it was freaking huge. It was basically like, like an albatross or something. And he looks very thuggish, like a bandit, like. And this bastard crosses the street in front of us, and I'm like, "Oh, look at him!" And my lady looks at that bird, and like she enjoys birds, and she's like, "Whoa, he's big!" And then she's like, "Where does he go?" Because the bird doesn't like walk, doesn't fly, all right? He fucking walks as if like almost holding like hands in the pockets, with this smuggish, thuggish face. And I'm like, where does he go? And then I see that on the other side of the street, there's a fish store open, all right? And they sell fish. And the fucker is like, do, and crosses the street. I'm like, oh shit, we are witnessing a crime right there. And he started like attacking because there are like baskets with fish or something like that, literally on the outside. And the shopkeeper starts like running towards this bastard and screaming and shouting. And yeah, the dude said, "Vaffa Napoli," and flew away. It was not like, it was so cool. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Italian birds, especially those, on the seaside, they're crazy. Like Gopnik, basically, like hands in pockets, stone cold face. Oh my god. There is a type of insulative coating on electric wires that rodents are attracted to, so it might be the very... yeah, that might be the reason. Sometimes I notice that my car behaves kind of weird, so it either switches radio stations on its own, or something else happens, and then my, for example, my settings of the rear view camera are changed every single time. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe they just snatch on that insulation. Could be the case. Ratatouille rat in your kitchen. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind to have somebody to cook for me while my lady is not here for a while. But on the other hand, I should not nag because I have like this speedy cooker. It's very fast. So basically 10 minutes I can have French fries with hamburger and enjoy my life, at least for a while. Happy Christmas, everyone. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day or night or time of the day. And please join us next time. Have you ever been to Brighton, England? No, I haven't been there, but I believe that seagulls can be absolutely savage. One took a bite from my friend's eyes. Oh my god. You remind me of a freaking funny story. Back in the days when I was a teenager, this one happened again, way before I grew up, became like a grown-up man and stuff like that, bald and everything. So I was a teenager. I liked to hang out with my friends, and we would of course have a beer or two, whatever. Like we're 16, all right, 17. Mom, I know that you're watching this. You're grown up enough, all right, to know about it. Yeah, so we would have a beer or two. I was like 16, 17, and one time, where did I get it from? I don't remember. So one time I had like a tiny plastic cup with water in it inside of my cabinet where I would store like my books, or notebooks. And inside of this cup, I had like a very specific plant growing, all right? Very specific plant that usually you don't grow at home because police may not like it. Green, beautiful, peaceful plant. It was very tiny. I have no idea. Don't ask me about my motivation. I was freaking 16, 17. I don't know. Okay. Plus, I wasn't fan because I tried to like smoke several times when I was a kid. I puke further than I can see. Like my body doesn't accept this stuff. All right. So naturally, I have immunity against it. But for some reason, I had it in my cabinet. No, I cannot remember. Maybe I'm too old or something. And one time, we went with the guys, had a beer, and I invited my guys to my home, and we, were listening to music, playing something on the computer, and then we went out again and stuff like that. And after a day or two, I opened the cabinet, which again, it was dark cabinet with books. Oregano, yes, my friend, exactly, oregano. Federal bamboo, yeah, that one. That's the one. The special oregano from Jamaica. So I'm opening my cabinet and there's nothing there. And I'm like, fuck, my parents probably, saw it and eliminated this stuff. So a couple of days passed. I'm like looking at my parents. All right. They behave well. They don't say anything. I'm like, what the hell? What happened? And then 2 weeks later, I mentioned this and to my friends. And my friends go, don't you remember what happened? I'm like, no. They say, you decided to show us your cabinet, all right? And I must say that back then, when you're like 16 years old teenager, 3 beers are fine, all right? Now I would drink 3 beers, I would literally die, all right? I will be buried tomorrow. Back in the days when you're 16, 3 beers, that's completely fine. 5 beers is okay. I think I had like 10. I don't remember. Anyways, so I was so much, let's say, happy, all right, after having so much beer. So I opened the cabinet to show this stuff to my friends, and we were like giggling. And I take it out of the cabinet, and it falls down on the floor. My dog jumps on it and eats the whole oregano right there from the floor, like swallows it immediately. And my dog, to those who don't know, Rottweiler basically, or to those who know, Rottweiler basically tells everything, all right? Because Rottweilers work like a vacuum cleaner, literally. My dog, who had like this stuff on her face, I don't know how you call it. So she would literally go and like suck everything along the curb. Cigarette buns, whatever garbage she could find, she would just swallow it. Yeah, so I accidentally dropped the bamboo plant on the floor. My dog jumped and snatched it, and because I was very, very happy after seeing my friends and having so much beer together, I completely forgot about it. All right, I completely forgot about it. And then when they tell me the story, I start receiving some signals from my brain as if, like a person having an amnesia. So yeah, that one was absolutely funny and cringy. And yeah, Rottweilers are absolutely awesome. Mine was so sweet. She was like she was my very, very first dog, all right? My very, very first pet. Yeah, so at least she had fun with the bamboo plant. I hope it tasted well. And you probably haven't had a Labrador yet. Yeah, those are very kind from what I know. They're playful and kind. That poor dog. Oh, poor me as her owner, because she would bring me so much joy. I walk with her, and I walked with her. She was on a leash a lot because she was trained to walk on a leash. As soon as I release her from a leash, she just disappears immediately. And no matter if I call her or run after her, she doesn't care. She just keeps running, all right? And we had this big green area, like an orchard next to our house, and there was always like this very, very tall grass. And local alcoholics liked to go there, sit in the grass, have a drink, and also they would often eat some kind of fish. All right, it's like Christmas story time. So they enjoyed having some kind of fish, like dry fish, snacks like that, together with vodka or perfume or whatever they were drinking. So My dog loved when they did it because they would always leave some kind of fish remains just in the grass. Like it's normal, it's organic, right? And all the dogs, again, to the owners who know this stuff, all the dogs have this tremendous joy when they sniff something nasty. All right, so when they smell stuff like poop or like fish or whatever, they just literally jump and start rolling in this every single time. And my dog did it all the time. So she would just jump into that high, tall grass, and she would find a place where like a bunch of local alcoholics or hobos were sitting and having a drink with fish, and she would find fish, the remains, the bones, and she would start like rolling in it, enjoying so much. Oh my god. And I had to like take her home. And how do you wash a Rottweiler who weighs like 45 kilograms? She was heavier than me. So that was crazy. My brother would take her because my brother was a big guy. And he would take her and bring her to the bathtub because there's no other way to wash her. So that was insane. And with Fuji, it was easier because Fuji is like, he's lightweight, he's paperweight, right? He's like 15 kilos, 12 kilos, I don't know. He's a tiny boy. Yeah, but Dana was big. She was a big girl. And Rottweilers, as you know, they're very strong. They have very strong chests. They were actually designed as cargo dogs back in those days. They were not like fighting dogs, but initially they were cargo dogs. They were designed. They were designed to hold cargo. And yeah, take her to the car jet wash. That would be probably the only way to wash her, because in the bathtub, I have no idea why dogs are so much afraid of bathtubs, but mine really was. So it was absolutely crazy. And that was the most innocent thing she would do, because sometimes she would find some kind of poop, all right, in the tall grass. And yeah, my childhood and my teenage years were full of joy. My new file likes to roll in moose shit in forest. Yeah, and Ellie, by the way, also can confirm that dogs enjoy nasty smells. They don't care. Like, to them, it smells fine. All right, they enjoy it. It's like me secretly enjoying the smell of surströmming. Don't tell nobody. Yeah, the other day. So again, in that tall grass, my dog just jumps there straight away. And she's gone for a while. And I think my parents were there as well. Yeah. So she jumps into that, into the tall grass. Hello, Claire. Happy Christmas to you. Yeah. Finland is complaining there are too many Russian wolves and they're killing the reindeers because all the hunters have gone to war. Shit, that is insane, absolutely. So my dog jumps into the tall grass and she's gone for a while. And my parents tell me to go and find the dog eventually. So I go there and I can see my dog having like enjoying, like a big pile. I have no idea, maybe human pile. Who knows? I mean, left by human. So, and she's enjoying it so much. I'm like, fuck. And I grab her by the collar and I lead her to the home, holding like she's all beautiful, all right, in that stuff. And I drag her home, my father looks at that and he goes, "Whoa," because he's like easily disgusted. I just go and I take like this water kettle with cold water and I start like pouring it all over her. And oh yeah, I will never forget this one. It was something perfect, to finish a beautiful day. Yeah, after a nice walk. But one thing that I actually enjoyed was when we would go to a grocery store somewhere and I would give her like a grocery bag. And she would carry grocery bag easily. So she wasn't really good at learning, even though I tried, but she wasn't like I tried to educate her. Most probably is because I couldn't dedicate a lot of time to her. Also, I was a stupid fucking teenager, so she wasn't really educated. So she was not really. I couldn't really control her much when she would just run away somewhere. But besides all that, she enjoyed carrying stuff, and I'm carrying this like 5 kilograms, I don't know, 8 kilogram bag, and I'm like, "Do you want to carry that?" She's like, "Yeah, sure," and she grabs it and she just walks. She doesn't care, and she liked that so much. So, Merry Christmas, my friend. So, it was a very happy dog. I remember that she was so much playful and she would play all the time. When you say Russians, she would start barking actually at the door. You go like, "There's Russians," and she's like, "Boo, boo, boo." Yeah, and keeping her at home actually was a big joy because we knew that our home would never get robbed. Never ever. So one time you have a dog, and even after she died, I was absolutely devastated. And then my sergeant major, years after that, he told me that, "Dude, get yourself a dog." And I'm like, no way. My Rottweiler died, and it felt as if a family member died. And he's like, "Get yourself a dog. Doesn't matter how much your dog will spend with you, but your dog will be happy because you gave your dog a home." And that's exactly the reason why I had Fuchs. And Fuchs, by the way, guys, to those who want to learn more updates on Fuchs lives in a family surrounded with love, with kids, and having a big bond. I would take him with me. I'm not really sure if he would like the environment I'm at right now. But I know that he's surrounded by love and people enjoy spending time with him. So I'm happy for him. Big muddy puddles, irresistible. Absolutely. Losing a dog is damn hard. Yeah, I can tell. And she lived a long life for a Rottweiler. She was like, she passed away when she was like 15 plus. So, if not cancer, she would live longer, I think. Big dogs, I know that the small dogs live like 20 years sometimes. But big dogs are not that lucky, actually. And she passed away when she was 15 plus. She had cancer. She suffered actually very much. But yeah, that's life. Greetings to the beautiful Slovenia. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Let our terrier catch a sniff of a dead sea crab seagull on the beach. Call other half to bring the tractor so he can get home in the bucket. No way on earth he's traveling. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can imagine. Yeah. My dear friends, since Claire is here in the chat, uh, please check out the link in the description, because again, I wanted to invite Dima today with us. I completely forgot about it because I'm stupid, and Dima forgot to remind me. So we gotta check. Though maybe he texted me. Yeah, but we are having a fundraiser for our guys, Rubizh. Please check it out with the help of Car for Ukraine. There is my specific page at Car for Ukraine, and we are fundraising for a car for my guys in Rubizh Brigade, National Guard of Ukraine. I will be very, very happy if you check it out and help my guys, because they deserve it, and I really want to help them receive a vehicle so much. All right, so I will be very, very pleased if you check the link. It's in the description. Also, Ali dropped it in the chat, so thank you so much, Ali. Please do that. Basically, a Christmas gift for our gift. They needed to perform their missions, all right? They needed to deliver stuff to the front, deliver stuff from the front, and things like that. It's a necessity, unfortunately, but yeah, I will be very, very happy if you help this Christmas dream of mine come true, actually. So what else? Let's talk. Jake Bro might be able to help with that. I know. Actually, I don't want to disturb Jake Bro, because Jake Bro is also busy doing his stuff, and I know that I don't like to be annoying, all right? Because there are limits to people's patience. Okay, I have my patience as well. So some people can cross it, which happens a lot. But yes, Claire says it's only at Euro 650, needs a big booster. Yeah, thank you for a reminder, guys. Please check out this link as much as you can help. Please do, because it's very, very important. My guys are... We also like Jake Bro, by the way. We really do. He's legendary. Yeah, I agree with this comment as well. 100%. Euro 1750. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much to those who already donated. You know how much important it is for me, because those are my guys. What the hell do I have on my eyebrow? Those are my guys, and I know that I literally know the people this car will actually go to. So please help them, please support them, which is something that we can do. We can see that Trump's sanctions don't fucking work. The biggest Indian oil company, importer of Russian oil, started buying Russian oil one more time. They don't give a fuck, and Trump doesn't give a fuck, and the only sanction that actually work against Russia is actually Ukrainian sanction, right? It's like when Ukraine sanctions Russian oil refineries, Russian power plants, Russian shadow fleet tankers. Trump is like, oh, we gotta fight against Venezuelan shadow fleet tankers. Russia has like 5 times bigger shadow fleet, and that is something that we should concentrate on at this point. Sucha Mimos is great. Yeah, absolutely. I agree on that. And also combat veteran. Also raises awareness a lot about fundraisers. Mr. M. Noister for a big donation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it big time. So yeah, we are still doing that. 2025, soon it will be 2026. We will be still doing that. But Ukrainian sanctions against Russia is something that actually works. Plus, Ukraine is currently fighting for the whole civilized world, and basically the least we can actually do is help our guys with receiving a vehicle or two. So I will be extremely, extremely happy if you can make this happen. Um, Speaking of Trump, fuck, friends, I'm surfing through files. Let me see what the address was. So to those who want to find, if you're not easily disgusted, all right. So some legendary people actually made a database of pictures and files related to America's most notorious why doesn't it work? Most notorious sexual offender, and I will share this with you because it's absolutely necessary to see. All right, so the link will be there in the chat right now. Please go and check yourself. There's a lot of collections, all those sick drawings and statues and everything else, faces and blah blah blah. Of course, all the victims are redacted and stuff like that. But please check it out and enjoy. There is a lot to see. All right, and here, for example, if we go to like volume 2, we can see all the suspects, and oh my god, I feel like fucking vomiting. I'm so happy that I didn't eat since morning. But you can actually, you can actually check it out. There are redacted files, my friend. There are redacted files because they protect, for example, like witnesses. All right, if there is a redacted face, it means that the person is either a witness or a victim. I wanted to say animals like Epstein, but that would be insulting animals, all right? But people like that, for example, you can see that their faces are not covered, which means that they're neither victims nor witnesses, right? They're most probably they're participants. So please check it out. It's not like you can do that. That is actually necessary just to get more acquainted with all that, because there are a lot of fuckers right there. You will be impressed, including Clinton, including everyone, including Trump, Putin, and many others. But one thing that I was actually impressed to find, and I found it due to the stream that I watched. I subscribed to this channel. I already forgot the name of it, but I was impressed to find this stuff. So on some of those photos, you can find like all sorts of oligarchs, all sorts of, those elderly fucking perverts and stuff like that. What I actually wasn't expecting to see would be fucking Russian fucks, because, for example, on this photo, there you can see a dude, all right, that looks very, very suspiciously, all right, very suspiciously, because if you take a closer look, this dude looks exactly like Umar Jabrailov. That is like 2002 or something. That's literally early 2000s. Umar Jabrailov, that fuck, he's on Wikipedia, by the way. And who the fuck is he? Who is that dude? Umar Jabrailov. That is, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but look at the nose, all right? I'm not an investigator. I'm just a former cop. But look at the fucking mug. So, and that's like decades, all right, decades between those pictures. So who the hell is this dude happily dancing topless in the Epstein's backyard. That is Umar Jabrailov. Umar Jabrailov is a notorious Russian gangster mafioso from the 90s. He is a Chechen national, which doesn't make him a Chechen person. He's a fucking Kadyrovite. So he was involved in a lot of different assassinations, and that's a known thing. Like, Russians know about it, Russian cops know about it. They don't give a fuck. Sword of Wisdom, hello, my friend. Hello. So that dude is currently working as advisor to the assistant of Putin. Okay, Putin has an assistant, Prihodko. This dude is his direct advisor, and he also works as a representative of the Russian Chechen state. All right, the temporarily occupied Chechen Republic of Ichkeria. He works as a representative of it. He works as Kadyrov's best buddy, basically. So he also works as an oligarch. He's multimillionaire. He has a lot of money. What the fuck was he doing at the Epstein's parties back in early 2000s? I have no idea. But he's not the only Russian who attended those parties. I can tell you that. And the coolest thing about this, you want to know the coolest thing. So the coolest thing is that I post some shit sometimes, on my YouTube. There are like 1-2 comments from trolls, like they watch it. Yes, we kidnapped your kids, like, what's the sensation, like, fuck you, or like, yes, we hit your downtown, killing a bunch of civilians, so fucking what? And basically, bots are ignoring my publications a lot recently. First of all, because I don't have such reach as previously. And they understand that, okay, that we can switch to like Anna from Ukraine and other channels that are currently having more reach. So they're mostly ignoring my posts. But this post in the YouTube community, when I posted about that shit, that actually shows a fucking link between Russian oligarchs, literally Putin, right? And Epstein, which most probably links further, all right, to other people. I immediately start receiving some very, very non-suspicious commentaries like, yeah, of course, Russians are involved. Yeah, like Epstein was Russian, ha ha ha. Не палитесь, господа, не палитесь ни разу. That's not suspicious at fucking all right? Yeah, but this means that that might actually be the case. That might be the truth, that the bots kind of poured in. So that might be the case, that there is actually a connection, which I won't be surprised at all. Guys, based on what Trump Putin is saying about Ukraine, like, come on, it's even funny to assume that he stands for the right things. So it was kind of interesting. Like very, very non-suspicious commentaries, like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, that is so ridiculous, ha ha ha, like. They should learn how to work better in the commentaries. There's a lot of backroom shit going on with governments we usually never hear about. Yeah. I was surprised to learn that actually, we talked about it yesterday, that Epstein, for example, was involved in different state-level operations, all right? Operations involving CIA, involving all sorts of state services on a state level. And why? Why did he do that? Literally because he had connections. And there's a lot of people in the commentaries who are not suspicious at all. They say, why do you concentrate on Trump? let's talk about other people on those pictures, okay? Let's talk about Elon Musk. People like that. There's a lot of them, and they are all there. Epstein played a big role in the US-Russia relationship. Yeah, not only that, my friend, he also played a big role in US-Iranian relationship, all right? Because he also helped conduct some operations between CIA and Iran back in those years. How fucking crazy is that? Glad Ukraine realized Trump hates them. Of course we do. Of course we do, my friends. He never said anything about, like helping Ukraine to defend its sovereignty. Poor country was attacked. No, that wasn't what Trump said about Ukraine. Do you want to know why Trump was so much convinced that he will finish the war in one day? Well, first of all, he knew that it was bullshit. He was aware that it was a total bullshit. Come on. But the reason why he thought that he would just become a president and the war will finish in one day, guys. Carlito, hello. It's okay that you're late. I'm not blaming you. All right, everything's fine. We're trashing Trump and talking about Jeffrey Epstein. So why Trump was so much convinced that he would just finish the war in one day? I will tell you easily, easy example. The Russians and all sorts of fucking Dave Smith, fucking Scott Ritter, the degenerates, the supporters of the Russian terrorism, all sorts of, perverts. So they always say that Ukraine is America's puppet, all right? That America established the democratic elections in Ukraine by, I don't know, as a result of a coup. How fucked up is that? But it's a different story. So they say that America is Ukraine's puppet master, and basically Ukraine does whatever America says. So Trump thought, apparently he was convinced that it's true, and basically he thought, all right, I will become American president, and then Ukrainians will just do whatever I tell them, all right? So if I tell them stop invading Russia, Ukrainians would stop invading Russia, all right? If I tell them fucking jump, they would fucking jump. If I tell Ukrainians become Russians, Ukrainians go, we obey master, all right? And they become Russians easily. I believe, today in 2025, in the end of December, I literally believe that he might have thought so, that it was like his way of thinking. Because looking at the shit he says in the social media, and generally the shit he says, and the shit he believed, all right, and all his background, I believe that it could be actually the case. He actually believed that he would become a president, call Ukrainians and say, Ukrainians, fucking give up, become Russians, everything will be good, all right? Stop fucking attacking poor Russian democratic tiny federation. And he thought that Ukrainians would just say, yes, sir. So he was disappointed very much. And when you listen to Trump, for example, speaking, Zelensky is so hard to talk to. Zelensky is not a pleasant man, all right? Putin is a pleasant man because he sends me portraits and different gifts, and he talks to me, like to a equal, all right? And President Zelensky is very, very hard to talk to. That is literally the reason. It's because he calls him and says, Zelensky, dude, give up. Stop the war. Stop the killing. All right? And Zelensky says, no, we can't. He says, why? And Zelensky says, because we will die. And Trump is like, but it's Biden's war. Biden told you to attack Russia. Biden told you to invade Russian troops in 2022. And Zelensky says, fucking no. And Trump cannot fucking understand how come, what the, like, why is that this way? Why he was like listening and bowing to Biden, but he doesn't do that to me, all right? I'm America, I'm the puppeteer, all right, behind the curtains. So he will be impressed. He will be even more impressed in the future, I think. When Trump said he would use peace on day one, he meant Ukrainian surrender on day one. Well, yeah, basically that's the case. And then he was very, very much disappointed. He says, Zelensky doesn't respect me, all right? He doesn't respect me as much as other people. He's not grateful. Even though President Zelensky said thank you, President Trump, I think 70 plus times already, according to the media, or 80 plus times. But apparently he doesn't do it in the proper way, because imagine like Trump and Zelensky meet up, all right, and Trump is like, you're not grateful enough, motherfucker. Zelensky is like, why I'm not grateful? I said thank you 80 fucking times on camera. How much more do you need? And Trump is like, dude, you don't know the way we do shit, all right? Like, look at my beautiful aircraft, all right? Like, you understand. I mean, you have villas, you have Hitler's car, shit like that. Zelensky is like, you fucked up or something. So I believe that that's literally the conversation that takes place, behind the closed doors. Like, Volodymyr, don't you know how to say thank you in a proper way? Come on, take a look at what I have there at the airport, Yeah, and for the same reason, by the way, now I can understand, because when you watch, for example, different American shitheads like the Dave Smith or the what's his name, Doogie McGregor or whatever, and they all say Ukraine is wrong, Russia is justified, Ukraine should give up, Ukraine should consider, ceding territories and things like that. When I think about it from my standpoint, because I'm Ukrainian, when I think about it from my standpoint, I go like, why do you even believe in this bullshit? What's your belief is based on? Because I cannot understand. And then when I see this from their perspective, and I realize that they wholeheartedly believe that United States is Ukraine's puppeteer, and Ukrainians just obey, to the United States, to Brussels, to whatever. Ukraine is like not an independent country. They don't have free will and stuff like that. When I realized that they actually believe in this shit, I realized that that is the reason why they're saying that. Because I couldn't understand, I couldn't see that from my perspective. Because it's like, you wake up and people tell you, dude, you should stop being Nazi. You're like, what? They're like, yeah, you do, and you should stop repressing me. Go, the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, you gotta stop repressing me, and give me half of your room and stop being Nazi. You go like, I'm a fucking Jew. I cannot be Nazi. I have a bunch of national minorities in my family, and I have never been spotted, walking around with bald head, walking around, as a white power skinhead Nazi, throwing salutes like Elon Musk, for example, and doing all that shit. I'm not a Nazi, and I never even thought about this. Like, no, you're Nazi. You are. And when you're in this position, all of a sudden, they inform you that turns out you're Nazi today, okay, starting today, because they said so. So that is the reason why we have that. I wake up in the morning as a Ukrainian, all right, after, I don't know, after being raised in a family, all right, that has Ukrainian, Gypsy, Polish blood, speaking almost 5 languages, and working in different international organizations. I wake up in the morning to the news that Russians demand denazification, all right? They demand my denazification. You go, what the fuck? And that is the reason why we have that. That is the reason why we have a lot of degenerates that literally believe that Ukraine is a Nazi country, that Ukraine is the puppet of the United States, and they actually believe in all this shit. So that's the reason why we have this conversation today. I was impressed to discover this, because they actually believe in this. They believe in different things, like. RFK believes that drinking bad water makes you gay or trans or whatever. So, does RFK have any medical education, by the way? I call them degenerates, all right? Because that's who they are. They are either degenerates or degenerates. So, my uncle cured Nazis in Italy in 1944-45 with Dr. Lee Enfield. Much respect to your uncles, because that's exactly what my grandfather did, for example. And that's, frankly speaking, what I was also doing in Donbass, starting late 2014. Alex Jones, yeah, like that dude. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta watch his content more, actually. I miss bullshit in my life. I gotta watch Alex Jones. It's cold in Ukraine and some guys are freezing their nuts off right now. Yeah, unfortunately that's the case. But generally, it's of course it's cold in Ukraine, considering that our infrastructure is hit by Russian terrorists. But besides that, it's actually cold anywhere else. Here in Germany, like I'm comparing Germany to Ukraine, right? Here in Germany, it's impressively cold, especially in my apartment. I have no idea why. Like my rear poles are freezing. They're trying to make the mRNA vaccine a biowarfare in some states. I don't want to vaccinate people, and people going to die from treatable diseases like rubella. Yeah. Remember to keep your nuts warm. I have very, very warm shorts. I tell you that. Is Crimea a bit warmer? It depends. It depends. I will make a small tour around Crimea for you, all right? Since we're talking about it. So, like, just so you had an impression. Okay, here for example we have a map of Crimea. All right. How does it even work? All right. So you have Crimea on your screens. It consists of the peninsula, all right? That is the Kerch Strait. Everything here behind this line and to the east of this line is fuckery. That is literally the terrorist federation. So this is beautiful temporarily occupied Ukrainian Crimea, and what makes it special? That's something that I believe not a lot of people actually know. So over here, all right, on the southern part, in the southern part, southern shore of Crimea, we have tall mountains. That's like something that I'm trying to explain why Crimea is warmer. Not because it's more to the south, not because it's located on the south of Ukraine, even though Ukraine is huge. But here we have mountains, all right, in this part of Crimea. Here places like Bakhchisarai and everything else. Here we have mountains, and they're very tall. So all this chain of cities on the southern bank, southern shore of Crimea, that is what we call PBK, Південний берег Криму, or literally southern bank of Crimea. That is where you have most of your hotels, resorts, beaches, things like that, because the mountains that are over here, just like to the north of this chain of cities, the mountains stop the weather. They actually block the weather from coming to Crimea. And that is the reason why southern part of Crimea is warm. Here, it can be freaking cold, all right? But here, it's fine. It's kind of fine. So that is why on the southern bank of Crimea, we usually had quite warm temperatures, like plus 10 degrees, usually compared to the rest of Ukraine, even though this is an open sea. The Black Sea, there's Azov Sea to that, in that direction. Even though there is like open sea and, with all the winds and everything else, but due to the specifics of the local environment, all the weather coming from the north is being stopped by those mountains in Crimea. And that is why Crimea was the southern bank, the southern shore of Crimea, was always warmer compared to the rest of Ukraine. A tiny lesson of geography just for you, my friends. I'm eating these chips for like 2 hours already. In southern Finland, +2. You guys are enjoying, because in Germany it's like -5. It says -3, but it was showing -4 in my car yesterday. You are lucky there in Finland. Yeah. But again, why am I nagging? 3 degrees in Cardiff. Oh my God. That is, I don't know. I don't know how to comment this. 3 degrees in Cardiff. Russians probably celebrate that. I tell you that. That is why there's vineyards. Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, we are losing those vineyards because a lot of that territory with those vineyards, and they are legendary. They were providing half of Soviet Union with freaking wine and champagne. There is very, very old champagne called either Sovietskaya or Krymskaya. That one was like very, very famous in the Soviet Union because of the Crimean wineries. And now we're losing them because Those territories were captured, obviously, by different Russian thugs, and those Russian thugs are destroying the infrastructure. So we are basically losing those wineries, and when we return them, when Russia collapses and they start paying us reparations and everything else, I hope we'll have enough funds to rebuild those wineries one more time, because it's very, very important. The culture of growing grapes and making wine is amazing, and it's very, very unique and special to Crimea. One thing that I tell me if you know the answer to this question, all right? Because in Crimea we have a lot of Crimean Tatars, and they also have a culture of making wine. Why? I need to know. I know there's an answer, but why? Please don't comment on Cardiff. I won't comment on Cardiff. I will just send rays of my love and support to the people of Cardiff. I am with them, whatever they do, all right, regardless of what they do to survive, but I am with them, all right, in my thoughts and in my prayers. I shit you not, next time I'm in the United Kingdom, okay, first time I'm in the United Kingdom, I will go to Cardiff, I will just bow and kiss this land, because I have so much, empathy, and I was worried for them for quite a long time. So I will find like a random bunch of guys, some like local football hooligans, and we'll go and have a cold one or two straight away. Cardiff Tesco's has sold out of hamsters. Yeah, that's a tragedy. Italian and Portuguese wine go to have Crimean wine too. Yeah, so I cannot talk much about it, because like I'm not the biggest fan of alcohol at all. I will become a fan for like 3 days after Russia collapses, and I will have to drink like pig with many different people. So that is when I will open myself, open my chakras, and drink. Okay, 3 days straight, you know me, I will do that. But before and after that, I don't know even what to discuss. I don't know what's the difference between sweet, semi-sweet, and dry. I tried to understand it. I learned how to distinguish, like sweet and dry. Why do you call wine dry wine? It's like calling water dry water. What the hell? Yeah, so I learned how to tell which one is dry and which one is sweet. 3 months later, I completely fucking forgot, because I don't need this information. I don't drink. So yeah, I cannot discuss that one. I can discuss like coffee and non-alcoholic beer. Please don't beat me, all right? What next thing? We are freezing and starving in the UK. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here eating noshki busha. Oh my god! And by the way, amazing user pick there. Fallout rules forever. Put peaches in your prosecco. Is that put peaches in your prosecco? Is that a curse? Please let me know. I don't know what to say. It sucks if, maybe I'm old-fashioned, and I think that it sucks if a man doesn't know much about alcohol. I know about tequila. I know how to drink tequila, which I probably will after the victory. But yeah, it sucks if a man cannot tell anything about alcohol, because I think that is something that every man should know. Roast hamster, yummy. Oh my god, I'm drooling. Like, my stomach juice is like consuming myself at this point when I'm reading this. What's your favorite bakery treat? Flammkuche, all right? Flammkuche. Don't confuse with pizza, because pizza und Flammkuche are Flammkuche. Flammkuche. They're different things, right? So Flammkuche. What should every woman know? You tell me. I mean, if I had at least some kind of understanding of what women think, I'd be probably, I don't know, a more successful person, but I'm too shy to ask. I'm not a big drinker, but have enjoyed alcohol in many different ways. Oh yeah. I tell you this, so Flammkuchen, not Küche. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for correcting me. I mean, it was like first grader's mistake. I tell you this, like, for example, I'm 6 years old, all right, and I'm sick. And what my grandma does, or my mom, it was so many years ago, my friend. But one thing I remember, for example, what my mom does or what my grandma does, they take like a moonshine, like a bottle of moonshine, all right? And I have high temperature, I have like seizures, stuff like that. I'm coughing and dying and whatever. So I think my mom did that, or my grandma. Like the images are mixed in my head already. Oh my god. So she takes like a bottle of moonshine, and then she starts like rubbing my back. And then she just covers me in blanket. I'm like, oh, you know, like tiny Starsky dying, or thinking he's dying. I'm like, mama is just like, sleep, and tomorrow you'll be fine. And next day I feel better. So I loved the smell of moonshine so much. I thought that, and because, you know, I never tasted it, I was like 6 years old. I never tasted it. I thought that this shit must taste so nice, all right? Because the way it smells, and I'm like, you know, like dying from high temperature, but at the same time, I'm enjoying the smell of moonshine so bad. And I'm like, oh my god, this fire water is something absolutely incredible. I need to try. And she's like, don't even ask. Yeah, but I grew up and I still love this smell. I don't love moonshine. I only had it like twice in my life, seriously. One time I had it when I was 18. The other time accidentally. I had it when I was like 17. But that's basically it. This shit, like 90% alcohol, doesn't even have proper taste, you know. And the worst thing is that when it evaporates through your whole body, your whole skin smells like that. And you don't know what to do with this. And I still love this smell so bad. I absolutely enjoy the smell of moonshine, even if it's like very, very like stenchy, you know, like surströmming, for example. I absolutely love it. Would never drink it. Never in my life. Have you tasted 0% Radler? It's good. No, I haven't. And if I remember about this tomorrow when I wake up, in like 6 hours because I have to wake up in 6 hours. Yeah, I will check it out absolutely, but most probably I will forget about this because I'm old and stupid. In Time Show, hello my friend. Hello, so good to see you on my channel. I saw that you posted a new video about American president. So I feel like vomiting even pronouncing his name so much on a daily basis because he's not worth it. The Bulgarian moonshine. So there is, for example, either Saplivica or Slivovica. So those are very, very strong. The Balkan, they make them in Balkan. Guys from Croatia, from Slovenia, they should know. So those are nasty. They really are. Like they turn a man from a warrior into a warrior who cannot fight. Yeah, let's popularize 0% beers in Ukraine, and I would love that because in Ukraine we don't really have a lot of 0% beers. Even if we do, they kind of suck. I was never a fan of 0% beer. I could never imagine what it means to drink 0% beer and enjoy it in the same time. But then I came to Germany, and my world shattered, all right? Great to see you too. Great to see you too, Nick. It's so good to see you on my streams and see you keeping making the content and spreading the word. It's a proper thing to do. I've tried rubbing Glenlivet whiskey on a cigar and dipped the tip in it. It was pretty good. What I tried to do, my friend one time sent me a huge bottle of Mexican tequila directly from Canada, all right? I was like 20. So it was a real bottle of tequila because in Ukraine, for example, in most cases, we have the most popular and the most mainstream thing like Olmeca, Gold or Blanco, and that's basically it. And the real tequila, of course, it should contain a worm inside that you should snack, all right, after drinking, or shouldn't. But I had that one, like with the worm swimming in it. And it was so freaking good and so freaking strong. I had it on my 18th birthday. Yeah, I was 18. Or 20. I think I was 20. Yes, I was 20. So I had it on my 20th birthday with my friends, with my female friends as well. And it was so good. I remember I woke up at my brother's place, like completely devastated and shattered and happy because I tasted like a real Mexican tequila straight from Canada from my friend. So with salt or lemon, with both, you gotta take a lemon or lime. I prefer lemon. You gotta rub your wrist, you gotta drop a lot of salt. Don't sniff it. Lick it. Lick and drink. Yeah, and you can also just take a glass, all right? Rub the rim of the glass with the lemon and just dip it in the salt, so it works like that as well. Jesus, I'm talking about it. I'm drooling. What's happening with me today? I can drink tequila all night long. Yeah, one Jägermeister and I'm done. The same here. My dear friend Titan. Absolutely, like Jägermeister is something that can absolutely devastate me because I cannot drink it. Tequila, Probably I would not die if I had like several shots, but that one is devastating. Those herbs. I'm German and have to admit the Czechs got the best beer culture in the world. Well, if German says that, then I should obey and agree, because I haven't been to Czechia, and if I ever go there, I will definitely try beer and I will tell you my opinion. But so far I can say that German beer is just so good. Polish beer wasn't bad. But Polish beer can be more or less compared to Ukrainian beer. They're like around the same quality. Okay. German beer, of course, it was not just step up. It was like giant leap up, because you go to a German store where, by the way, in every town there is a brewery and they produce their own beer. And if you go with your beer to another town, they might, kick your ass and stuff like that. Just kidding. But the culture of beer here is absolutely different. It's nothing like I have encountered in my entire life. And this is something that I enjoy so much. And when, for example, I drink like this beer that is kind of a bit bitter with chmiel. How to translate chmiel? Okay, translate chmiel. Hop? What do you... No, chmiel. It translates it as drunkenness and intoxication, but it's not. It's the name of the plant. This one, my friends. Not this one. This one. All right. Guys, tell me what you call this one. My Google Translate broke. Is it hops? Really? Hops. All right. Okay. Well, all right. Then my my Google Translate was right. Yeah. So when you grab a beer which is slightly bitter and with this stuff, all right, you can smell this one, and you drink it, and its taste changes on your tongue freaking 3 times, all right? Because when it touches your tongue, it's one taste, you drink it is a different taste, you swallow it, and the aftertaste of a beer is something completely different. That is something that I can only compare to Ukrainian borscht, for example, that when it's hot, it tastes like one way, when it's cold, it tastes the other way, and then with sour cream, it tastes completely differently. So German beer is like that. Like, it's crazy. It's a culture, and it's super cool. It's something that I have never experienced in my life. Something that I have always underestimated, or underrated, because I didn't care much about it. But here, I enjoy it so much. What else can we talk about, my friends? Unfortunately, I would really go and get some snack, because I'm freaking hungry, and unfortunately in 6 hours I gotta get up and do my duties. So I'll be probably wrapping up our today's episode. But before we do that, guys, let me just remind you one more time to please check out the link in the description. There's our fundraiser for the Ukrainian Rubizh Brigade, the Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine. Please check it out. It's very important. I'm trying to help my guys and deliver a car for them. If you can do that, please support. And also big thanks to Car for Ukraine, big thanks to Claire and everyone involved. I will highly appreciate your support. So with that, I would also like to say big thanks to all the members of my channel, all the moderators, everyone who supports my streams and my videos, and which is even more important than that, to all the people who support my Ukrainian people and everyone who stands for democracy and freedom and fights against tyranny. Thank you so much. I will be going straight to Kisha. I'm so freaking hungry. I'm starving. Thank you so much, my dear friends. We'll see you next time. Most hopefully, tomorrow. But I think if so, then I will be streaming around midnight, and maybe even later. Maybe even later than tonight, because my torture is not finished. After the Christmas is finished, because my kids got a birthday and I have to attend. So we'll see you later. Be safe, treat yourself with something tasty, and bye-bye.